Hey guys, Jason here again, and welcome along again to another sort of market update, tips and strategies. Hey, this week I want to talk to you about mortgage minimisation, the idea of paying your home loan off in 5 or 6 or 7, 10 years, paying it off really quickly, and even buying 2 or 3 investment properties at the same time and paying your home loan off sooner. Hey, that'd be a great concept, a cool concept. The idea of minimising our home loan, which is something we call bad debt that's not tax deductible, and exchanging it for investment debt which is tax deductible, creating wealth by paying off our home loan and buying some investment properties. Hey, kind of a cool concept. It's been around for a little while, but you've got to put it together in the right way and speak to the right people to get the great result. Hey, listen, I'm going to draw a bit of a picture on the board just to always explain it in a way that is easier to understand. So what happens here, I'll show you a bit of an example right now. Let's say we've got a person who has a house and they've got a loan on their house and it's $300,000, right? And let's say the house is worth $400,000. That's its value, okay? Let's say you got someone who's been chipping away. They're paying principal and interest on that house, at a 7% interest rate. And that's just over $2,000 a month in interest payments to pay off the house. Now, the old traditional old-fashioned way of making your life easier by paying your house off is really a defunct concept. The value of our properties is so much more than it used to be back in Mum and Dad's day. They sort of say, the way to get wealthy or get ahead, guys, is to go to school, learn how to get a good job, work hard for 20, 30, 40 years, buy a house, pay it off, and then when you retire, you'll be rich. Hey, that's not a concept that works. We all know that. When you retire, all you've got is your house paid off and you've got no income, you've got no other assets, and do you want to sell your house? Do you want to move? Most often the question or the answer to that question is no, I don't want to move. As a property investor, this is why we all invest in property, we want to move forward, create wealth for our future, for our retirement, for our kids, whatever it is for you, and making sure that we pay our home loan off as quick as possible, because it's bad debt. Is something that's very, very important. We can do that as property investors, and we can get double benefits. We can magnify our results if we're clever about it. Okay, using this old-fashioned way of paying principal and interest and paying a house off could take up to 30 years. Does anyone want to wait 30 years? Not me, and I'm quite sure that many of you don't want to wait 30 years. What can we do? Alright guys, here's a very, very simple thing. Quite often, something really, really simple that is very, very easy to do is instead of paying principal and interest, we pay interest only, okay? And your payment to the bank or your financier would go from $2,000 down to about $1,700 a month, which would end up with $300 extra in your pocket, potentially, each month. Now, as you say, hey, hang on, aren't we meant to be paying a house off? Yes, but this is how it works. Instead of taking that $300,000 and using it for beer and Skittles or chocolate and popcorn or whatever you might go and do, indulgences, this is what happens. You make sure you speak to a good quality finance broker and you set up the right structure. This might be called an offset account. It might be called a redraw. There's a number of words used for it. But you set up a loan, the right loan structure, which allows you to put extra money against your home loan, okay, that you have, but you're able to access that money at any time. When you talk to a good quality finance broker, they'll explain this. It's either redraw or an offset account. So you always pay your $2,000 into your home loan, but that $1,700 goes in to pay for the interest, and you've got an extra $300 sitting there in your offset account, and now that will continue to offset or save you interest in the future. Now, that compounding effect over a period of time is massive. What did Einstein say? The 8th wonder of the world is compounding interest, and the compounding effect of this sort of stuff is the magic thing that we want to have working for us. How can we speed that up? There's a couple of extra ways we can speed this up, right? We can put more money into our offset account. Okay, so if you get paid a wage in your monthly or weekly salary, you go and put 100% of that wage into your offset account, and so because our interest is calculated daily, you're saving yourself interest with that money in there. And so you say, well, hang on, how am I going to live? Well, the great part about this strategy is you get a credit card and you make sure that credit card has maybe a 55 day interest-free period, and you live off the credit card for 55 days. And this is where some discipline comes in. We must have some financial discipline as investors. At the end of that period, the money comes back out and pays this off and brings the balance back to zero. Now this is where some people can have some challenges, and you've got to make sure you've got some financial discipline. If you've got an extra, let's say $5,000 for 55 days sitting against your loan, that then will be saving you again much more interest, okay? And you can pay your home loan off sooner. If you look at some of the details that we're going to provide you, you could potentially pay your home loan off in 7, 8, 10 years if it's about $300,000. And depending on, the numbers, it applies to, any, number. And the time frame's a little bit different, right? If it's smaller, you can pay it off quicker. If it's a bit bigger, you can pay it off a little bit longer. But still, you're paying it off fast. How do you want to turbo blast this? How do you want to double benefit? Let's say we don't want to only pay a home off, but we want to buy some investment properties. And let's say we go and buy an investment property using some of the equity over here that we have in our property, and we take the rent from that property and we tip it in there as well. And we take all the tax benefits from we get from the property, because we claim them back weekly, monthly, or fortnightly. I talked about that last month, and we put them back in here as well. And what happens is your financial benefit, or the savings and interest and the magnification and the speed and the compounding process of this offset account geared against paying that home loan off sooner, works very, very quick and very fast. And for many of us, if we only go ahead and buy 2 or 3 properties, you can own 2 or 3 properties, investment properties, and pay your home loan off within 5 or 6 years. We've got an example here that will send you pay your home loan off in 6 years and own 2 investment properties. I think that's a pretty cool concept. If you're interested in more details on that concept, because it is a little bit complex here, come along to one of our property investment nights. At the back of the room with our presenters, there'll be our qualified finance brokers who always help out and assist our nights there, and you can have a chat to them, have a chat to our head coaches. Our head coaches help all of our clients arrange their situation with the right brokers in this way as well, and we get a great financial outcome. Hey, the concept is easy. Pay your home off quicker, own more investment properties for wealth, and then you have financial choices in the future. Hey, listen guys, get along to one of our property information nights. They're great, you'll meet some like-minded people, and you'll get some real good value out of them. Until next week guys, I hope that was interesting. I hope you got a bit out of it. Until then, take care, and bye for now.